All right, so we're ready to get planting. Brett's gonna run the disc on the 6100 and just hit a couple of the areas that were wet before. They're a little clumped up, and being that we've had like little rain up here in the last week, all the wet areas are actually bone dry. So he's gonna go through and hit them with the disc. Swapping tractors, we ended up losing the John Deere, old John Deere couplers. So we lost them. Tractor Supply only had one. Luckily there's only one hose on this planter, so we picked up one and we're gonna plant with the 2020, and Brett's gonna, once he's done discing, we'll probably swap the planter back over to the other tractor. The corn we're planting, I got 2 bags. From now on I'm probably gonna plant Pioneer, but I got 2 bags of this Pioneer. It's triple stack, Roundup ready. It's got rootworm and corn borer. Those bags were about 205 a piece, so I'm probably gonna go that route from now on. I got some the Federal. This is from same stuff I planted last year. This is from Royal King. It's about 160 a bag, and I got one of them at the end of the season. They were trying to unload them for 140 bucks, so it's about $1,000 in seed right there. And we're gonna see how the Pioneer does. It should do really good. It seems like all the farmers around here tend to use that brand, but if it really outweighs the Federal, then I'm gonna plant all Pioneer from now on. Yep.
Don't forget to flip this thing.
You can see how dry it is today. He's really kicking up some dust. He's just hitting a couple of the areas where it was more rough. Had a little bit more moisture in the ground over there. I'm just starting about 2 lengths. You ran the disc up here or something. There's 2 passes in them.
All right, here's what's going on with this. One of these bars that applies down pressure lost the cap like that. So now it's just scraping on the fertilizer tank. Coach thinks he may have one. If not, we'll probably just pull this pin right here and take it off so it doesn't destroy the fertilizer tank. And this is still getting down pressure. It shouldn't make much of a difference. Shouldn't make much of a difference as far as the corn growing or not growing. So we're going to see if we have one. If not, that's coming off. All right. We're now planting with the 6100. The John Deere 2020 is almost out of gas. And the 6100 is just a better tractor all around. Everything works a little bit easier on it. It is, I don't know, 40 years newer than the 2020, so you would guess it should be a little bit easier. But he's heading down the field. Everything seems to be working out pretty well. We got more than half of the front field. You can see where he's at. With all of that planted already. So doing pretty good. So I think it's 5 o'clock. So we still have I don't know, a couple hours of planting, but it seems to be moving right along now. Look at this gun show. I'd say that's a pretty bad farmer stand.
Brett's taking a turn planting. 2020 was getting low on fuel, so we put the 6100 on it. It's a better ride anyway. Stopping short for the end rows. last pass of the front field. We had a couple minor breakdowns. The belt started slipping, so we had to retension the belt, and then we had to we sprayed some PB Blaster on the pulleys. There's no loop points on them, and they seemed like they were pretty seized up. So we sprayed them with oil, and then they ended up freeing up and working again. And then we had the other tractors throwing a coat. I think the hydraulics were getting too hot. I'm gonna have to change all the fluid and filters on that. Just need to get through today. It's 8:20 in the evening. We probably have like another hour of daylight, but we just finished the last pass. Just finished the last pass on the whole front field is now planted. Now we got to do 2 sections in the back. All right, so this one is 3rd pass in the back field. This field's not very big. We should have this planted as long as everything goes all right. Half hour, 40 minutes. He's already a couple more passes. He'll be halfway through the field. Planting at sunset.
Four acres of 22 left. There's like 2 more swipes left on this field, and then we have this little 4-acre field here, and we will be done planting. This is Koch's dream, to plant at night and use lights on a tractor, I swear. Well, it's 11:37. Corn planter is back in the field. Koch is locked in the garage. We're finally done. All the corn is in the ground. What didn't make it in the ground is back in the bag for next year. We had a lot of issues today. A lot of issues between tractors and corn planter. Corn planter has some bearings going on the fan, so we had to limp that through with the PB Blaster, but we got it all done. So we'll see how it turns out.